for us. Take a wee sip.
One for us.
And then a wee bit on the ground for the Power Ranger that passed away.
Oh,
We Power Ranger.
We get on the ground, Ryan. Do it.
On the ground.
Jason David Frank, the Green
One for
Power Ranger.
Jason David Frank.
Representing right now today. He just died yesterday. God bless him. He's in heaven morphing away.
What colour was he?
He was
green.
He was a couple of different ones now, wasn't he?
He was green, white. I'm raging he wasn't orange as well.
That would have been.
That would have been class. That would have been a real Power Ranger.
I would have put the RA in the Rangers, wouldn't it?
So he was that one. He was a black one, so come out your black and tans. He was a black one at one point. He was a red one.
He was a white one, apparently.
White one, yeah. So he was a load of different colours.
He's LGBTQ plus, isn't he?
Well, he's dead,
Fucking,
but yeah.
he used
what
to
he
be.
actually is.
He's on the other side of the rainbow now.
I met him.
Did you
Yeah,
really?
there's a photo of I put a photo of my Instagram a day of me and him at a Comic-Con, like
Fucking hell.
in Orlando, 2009. Yeah, he's
No
good. He's
way.
a nice fella. You know.
Do you think that's what tipped him over the edge? I
Me-
know it was
me, yeah.
13 years later, but
Nope. He held for every day of his life for the last 13 years. He went. Ever since meeting that wee Fenian, I've really wanted to kill myself, and he finally went through with it. So fair play to him. But mental health is serious.
it is. You have to say
Because that's
that.
why he killed himself.
I'm cutting that bit out.
No, don't cut any of this out. I look, we're raw, baby. It's going. I'm not saying anything bad.
It's the only way to do it. Of course you're not.
He's fucking. I loved him, but he also is dead.
I know.
You know,
48. I'm going to say 49.
49. One short of 50.
It's no age.
It is no age, yeah.
No
well,
age.
you're 40 something, aren't you?
No.
No. 39.
You're so shocked when I
thought you were 40 on the button.
No. I'm 40 next December.
Oh.
I'm 39 in like 10 days.
Right, all right.
So
How you feeling about it?
do you know what?
Fuck it.
I'm going to say the old cliched age is just a number. It's
All right,
definitely
R.
not
Kelly.
like I know I'm starting. I know. My birth certificate's telling me no. But my fucking bag's under my eyes. I feel all right. Do you know what? I'm not going to say I'm fitter than I've ever been. I'm as fit as I've ever been, I'll say. And I feel good. Do you know what I mean?
Good.
I don't feel like I play indoor football twice a week.
Yeah.
And I go running and stuff a couple of times a week, and I don't come home and I'm like an old man the rest of the day. I'm completely fine.
Good.
But you know what the key is? Especially when you're playing football, don't warm up. I've never warmed up my entire
Really?
life. Never warm up.
Here's what my dad, right? Now, my dad said this. Don't cut this out, but I'll just put it in. But one day.
Did your dad say that?
No, right. One day, my dad goes to the gym and stuff, and my dad's like 54 or something now, but he'll come back from the gym and is in agony, can't even stand up out of a chair, like all stiff and all blah blah blah. And I was like, geez, Dad, you fucking need to be careful and stuff like that. I was like, do you do a stretching routine before you go? And he just looked at me and went, stretching's for fruits. And that was and I sort of go, now keep in mind, agony, like and he would rather, he's so afraid of looking the littlest bit gay. He's like, nah, I would rather he would rather suffer. You know what I mean? I want to take him to a yoga class for a bit of crack, like.
Yoga apparently is horrific.
I've did a few of them before.
Have you?
It's not. It's just stretching, but more advanced. That's the way I look at it.
But it's holding up your own body weight and stuff, isn't it? Like, which is hard for anybody.
Yeah, I suppose. Like, the hot yoga's the real fucking. That'll kick you in the dick, like Bikram yoga. Although it's called hot yoga now, because Bikram, the guy that ran it, got done for being a pervert pedophile guy. Yeah, there's a whole documentary about it on Netflix. Very funny. And I know it doesn't sound funny, but it's funny because this guy, he was like 60, 70 years old Indian man, would just walk around the class in this black Speedo and nothing else. And he's doing like serious instructions and everyone's just taking him so serious. He's in a black Speedo. It's very, very weird. But yeah, so it's no longer called Bikram.
Was he packing it? Was he?
No. But you could just see his wee wiener just fucking about in the wind.
Just poking about every now and again, just starting
on radio,
people.
Ran. Ryan's just keeping mute here. Oh, no, it's all good.
We'll talk about more sensible things in the radio.
No. This is as sensible as it gets, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Hello. Minutes in.
Probably. I don't know what my own name is.
Hello and welcome to the Sean Hegarty Show podcast. let's say it's more a bit of a chat show than a podcast, but it is available on all podcast platforms. So let's just go with the word podcast.
Yep.
I'm Sean Hegarty. Obviously, we have 2 brilliant guests this week. We have the fantastic Ryan A from Cool FM.
Thank you.
And we also have from fucking Blast 106 in 1984. I do well.
From Fail FM. I think Fail FM still kicking. Might be.
It is. It came up on my memories a few weeks ago that I think Shane Todd was covering for me, or I was covering for Shane Todd on Fail FM. Those were the days.
It was decommissioned for a while, but I think it
Was
is.
it? Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I had a show on it.
or
And then I had a
like
show on
13
Blast
years
as well.
You've did a show on every local radio station.
Every local
haven't you?
radio station.
I never forget getting the message of a friend. I was about 19. Said there's a radio station looking DJs. Me right, and I have to say I was really nervous going down. And the boy, I just walked into this office, and the boy he was sitting there. He said, "You want to be a DJ?" I mean, well, I'm a DJ. I want to be a radio DJ. He says it's about 11 o'clock, and he says, "Jump on, show me what you can do."
Straight away.
So I
Fucking
literally
hell.
just threw the microphone up in between a song. And I think, what's happening?
I love that. Just
This episode has to be called No Spitting. This is literally just everything is just straight in, no fucking about.
Say your life sounds like a movie.
Well,
Just the
yeah.
DJ story. Just like, what you got, kid?
No, yeah.
Well, you're on in 5 minutes.
It was.
Let's see. You know what I mean?
I never forget the guy who gave me the first shot, Darren. I've still got him on Facebook. He just said, "Go,
Class.
give us a shout. Let's hear what you sound like." It was horrendous. I knew nothing about radio. I just came from a DJing side of things, but taught the whole way through then, and just picked it up as I went along. And I was about 19.
Class.
It wasn't that long after. Then I sent demos to Cool, and I was like, I must be doing something right. They said it was all right,
Brilliant.
I thought it was crap,
But then you do at the start, no matter what you do, you think you're going to
Yeah.
be crap because all you have to compare it to is now. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah.
look at the years you've been doing it. You're a top name in this part of the country now, or this area for
Thank you so much.
what you do. Like so,
I
that's
don't-
why you're here. Do you know what I mean?
I never, think about that. I never do. But then a good friend said to me last night, actually, when I finished the radio, he says, you've been doing it for quite some time now, and you know what you're at. And I was like, thank you. I really appreciate.
Is that as far as he went? Was it just you know what you're at? I'll give you that. You you talk when you're up there, don't you, mate? You know your words.
No, it was nice. It's nice when you get younger DJs coming at you and asking you for advice. I like that, and I'm happy to, because it has to grow. Someday they need to be in that position, and you can't stay there forever. I'm just got my time there, and that's it.
Do you have any advice for me?
He signed to every radio
Sort of.
station.
Do you have any advice?
There's literally no other radio station for him to sign to.
There's nowhere else I could go.
He
There's nowhere else I
hasn't
could go.
conquered U105 yet.
Oh,
Very
there you
true.
go. That's the golden
But
goose.
I'm also not in my early 60s.
I know.
So
I know.
that's all ahead of me.
So-
I will at some stage.
You've
but
got
not
the
yet.
perfect studio. You may as well just create the radio station right here. No, to be honest with you, podcasts, it's the way to go to, and that's what the fear is in radio.
As it should be.
We have
Yeah.
to. I know you guys are taking over.
Well, it's not.
We're allowed to swear. That's what it comes down to.
Fucking right, we are.
I know, but yeah, with radio, it was so much competition now as well. Young ones can go on and Spotify and
Netflix.
That's it,
The
yeah.
whole lot. they can do-
YouTube.
the whole lot, yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
I thought you were joking there, but you were deadly
No, it's
serious.
not.
But when you're driving, I was thinking when you're driving in your car.
Oh right, no,
You
no,
know,
no. I
watch
just
Netflix,
meant like
but
in
yeah.
general, if you're sitting in the
I
house or
know.
whatever, fucking.
Yeah.
There's video games. There's just a
Oh, yeah.
bajillion media or ways of entertainment now the kids have these days.
Yeah, many
Big
years ago,
bastards.
people would have tuned into their favorite DJ, and I used to do it too. And then now it's just whoever's on's on. Each person just contributes to the radio station, and we just do our bit.
Who was your favourite growing up?
I used to listen to, and I always give him, I always get him credit that he deserves. But Glenn Pavis was my inspiration many years ago, and he done a dance show. It was originally Wes's house, but I just was the tail end of Wes's house when I was really getting into it. I used to listen to Glenn on a Saturday night. He done a 1 hour show. It was called
Cool FM?
Yeah. He done Cool Clubbing. And then I took that over. Then I took Cool Clubbing over at 6 o'clock.
Class.
But I done 3 hours of like old school anthems, and it was like a dream come true. But I used to listen in my bedroom to Glenn. But Glenn was a family friend, and it just used to always see him pull up in these beautiful cars. And I was like, I'm going to be a DJ because he has nice cars. Must be some money in that.
And then you found out he was doing the double. Like, fucking no money in radio.
He was selling coke. A paramilitary. No. That's not true. Disclaimer for the podcast. That's not true. I have to put everything I say with a disclaimer these days. That's fine.
You should just wear
Anything
everything that comes out of this. Anything that goes in is not.
Just Glenn's still on radio. He's still
Is he?
he's working in downtown now. And
I thought he was a downtown name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been down to downtown?
He hasn't yet, actually.
I played
There's
for
another
downtown
one?
for 3 weeks one day,
Oh,
covering for someone who was off.
Right.
Had a great time, and I was like, "This is it. My foot
I'm
is
in.
well and truly in the door."
You got on the downtown.
My foot was pushed out the door. My trainers were taken from me. The door was fucking slammed on my toes. But yeah, I had a great time. I have nothing but fond memories of radio. But even from growing up, did you listen to radio growing up? Did you have any favourites
But I
or
remember Energy 106.
Yeah.
I remember that was the
Yeah.
Bad Boys radio
an Atlantic
station.
Yeah.
longwave radio? Atlantic
Yeah,
252 as
Remember
well.
that?
You too
No.
young for that?
Yeah, too
Yeah.
young for that.
No
Yeah,
way.
Young guy, 33.
One of my good pals, Carl Kinsman, who was on Atlantic, and they were based down south. But
Right.
the story about Atlantic is I remember my parents used to listen to Atlantic, but they were based down south, but only aimed at sort of the UK, more further on into the UK, because they wanted to sound bigger, national.
I always thought it was UK, to be honest.
Yeah. It was done from a house. The studio was like the living room, and then the offices were the bedrooms upstairs, and there was a
Yeah.
kitchen. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You know,
Do
but
we
it
need
was,
more wood in the fire? We are.
Do you want to put some on?
Well, I put a wee bit of wood in.
Yeah, go for it.
Guys, you give me a
You've
minute,
said that
you
before,
stop.
haven't you? Sorry, Ryan.
They're all right. But yes, 252. But Carl is one of their original DJs. And back in the day, they used to give each other radio stage names. You know, so
I
he's-
remember that. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's Dusty
you
Rhodes and all
remember.
people like that. And
So he was Joe Keane, and I was like, Joe, so there's a good stage name for you.
Yeah, I must remember that one.
Yeah, Joe Keane. So there was a good few of them.
Class.
But I was the tail end. Energy then, was big competition for many local radio stations back growing up. They're
Yeah.
still doing a wee bit. They're not. Do you remember they used to broadcast from in shops in Belfast?
No.
So they used to have a shop in there in shops in Belfast. You remember in shops?
No.
Do you not remember in shops? Must have been in Belfast. Guys,
It
we're
must
wood in the
have been.
fire, by the way. Great stuff.
Cheers,
Yeah,
Ryan. Thank
no
you.
problem.
Thank
Never
you.
had to do it on the podcast.
I think
before.
did you knock the light or what?
I checked it when I hit it. It's all good.
Is it?
And by the way, we're also recording.
Oh, great! I
which
was
is crazy. I'm
Love
I'm raging that I got a spoiler for that, but
Love it.
yeah, unfortunately, we're going. But sorry, the in shops was a place in Belfast. I think it's still there, but it doesn't operate.
no
But it
Lidl's in place of in shops now.
Right.
But
What are
in
they?
shops-
Is it INN? Like in?
I think so. IN
but
or
it
in
Like
was
Bethlehem?
I'm trying to think of a good comparison. It was basically like if Castle Court was in its foundation stage, like pre-Castle Court, there was like this little other court called the In Shops.
Yeah.
And then, but it had like real weird shop. There was an Indian guy that owned a shop in it, and anytime you went into his shop, he told you to fuck off and get out.
Oh, you couldn't go in, aye.
And I'm being dead serious here, Sean. Ask anyone that went into this shop. I don't know how this guy stayed open, sold anything, whatever, for years. You'd go into this, and it was like a fresh garbage type shop. He would
Yeah.
sell like alternative, like sweatshirts and stuff like that, or like armbands, all the stuff you'd find in fresh garbage.
Scents,
Scents,
bongs.
incense. No,
No, we just
one
ate
knows.
young ones. Yeah.
Anyone that went in. Yeah, just to get a wee cheap buzz out of it every time you do. Yeah, that
What would you
be good
sell
fun.
though? Would you sell anything from
Lottery
Paul?
tickets.
You could be like me.
Yeah. Fucking just in the books and vape, and just everyone comes in, fucking get.
Everyone loves the vapes these days, don't they? Do you
Yeah.
vape, Brian?
A vape. Yes.
Did you used to smoke before?
I what would you say? I dabbled in that area for a while, but it was never for me. But I don't know what it is. I think during COVID, definitely. I don't know why, but they just became a thing, and I just sort of.
Now you're hooked.
You're
You're a vape addict, baby.
because you can have anything from pink lemonade to Coca-Cola. Whatever you
Unreal.
want.
You know you can buy that in shops.
The real stuff. You don't want to taste it or consume it. You just want to smell it.
I know. But yeah, these new wee disposable ones, they're costing a fortune, but they're
Are
costing.
they Elf bars or is
Aye.
that just one kind?
No, the Elf bar is a make of many,
Okay.
but they seem to be the most.
Are you disposable or refillable?
disposable? I'm on the disposable one, but I don't know,
Rich,
just-
this guy. Disposable
Yeah.
vapes?
Well, they're £6 a touch.
What?
You know,
And how many? What do you call them? Do you get out of it? Many
Oh, they say 600, but
Oh,
that's
right.
600 seconds, not puffs. I thought it was puffs, so I was.
So what's 600
So as soon as you start, you may just fucking go for 10 minutes, and then that's it.
Probably one a day leading into the next day, and then you buy another one, and you can get.
And there's £6 a day.
£6 a day?
I know.
32 quid a week, us boys on vapes.
And I,
It's not 32, you dick.
Something like that. It was close enough. It was close enough that it was good
it's
for
still
me.
crap no matter
34.
42.
It's worse. It's worse.
Do you know what would be funny too if I watch this back and I'm wrong? Fucking laughing at you.
Don't look at me. I was grabbing balls.
Oh yeah, 6 is 36, then 7. Yeah.
Do you know what? I went
something
7 sevens and then back. So I'm as bad as you.
I went away for a while. I'm
Did
no
you?
good.
you're just in vape land, puffing away. The
clouds.
yeah, in the clouds. But yeah, no, fuck, that's
It's an expensive game,
Mm.
and they've picked up on
I
this
like how you
because-
call it a game.
Oh, it is.
Man,
It
the
is a
vape game is woo. It's just a hobby.
But
You're
if you,
just
if you put into like you're searching a GIF, and you search vape, like my missus sent me one last night and says, "I get it, you vape." It's like it's a big thing.
It really market it.
Yeah, but those health bars don't give off the big clouds. They just. Aye. Yeah. The problem is that you'd be starting DJing, and and it's easy just to lift because nobody's really going to say anything. Whereas you light
Just
up a
blends in with the
cigarette,
smoke machine, doesn't it?
they don't even bring one. They just let him vape. He's
He's
upselling. He's charging more on his invoice and all. Guys, I brought a smoke machine. Cost me £6.
He comes with a smoke show and the lasers.
He's got a wee laser pen. Guys, you want the Disney World package?
It works.
Oh,
It works.
brilliant.
Well, you see, when you're out in the club and you're out DJing, I notice at many student nights that I'm playing, everyone says you see all these wee blue lights lighting up on the
yeah.
dance floor.
Yeah, it's such a
Yeah.
it's just taken such a fucking snowball. Like everyone's into them.
It's too, isn't it?
I know.
It really
People
is.
who aren't
like-
even smoking, people
Yeah.
are just going straight to
Oh
vapes.
yeah.
You know?
That's the problem. When the disposables first came out, you couldn't get them anywhere. You couldn't get them, and then now they've realised how big there is. There's some shops that just do tons of it.
What's your favorite flavor?
I'm on pink lemonade at the minute. It's not too bad, You know? I'm not fond of the sort of the bakery sort of style ones. They're
wow.
all too sweet. Like you can get cherry bakewell and all that
No
sort
way.
of stuff.
Vol-au-vents.
Croissants.
Fucking treacle 15s.
Tiramisu.
Start myself. You could get like teens and stuff. You know?
Caramel squares. What are you on the day? Caramel
Sausage roll
squares.
bob.
But this is the problem. You see, this is what's hooking people onto them. It's the flavors.
Right.
I don't know. I sometimes feel lost without it.
Are they as like what's the word? Addictive?
Oh, probably
Oh
more
yeah,
so.
yeah.
As cigarettes? Are there
Yeah.
really?
You're-
Yeah, because different flavors.
But is there nicotine in them? Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get ones with and without, I believe. You can get ones with
Right.
just the flavour. Like, I knew a guy in uni who, like, it was his refillable ones, and he just was for the flavour.
Yeah.
It's like strawberry or something.
No nicotine. Those refillable ones you would have had to put the nicotine in. But without the nicotine, you just
It's
you're
still
like,
addicting.
Is it?
it's the flavor.
It's the habit, too, of just picking something up and doing the whole thing, you know?
Yeah.
The-
Fucking hell.
Don't start, Sean.
Oh no, here
Don't
I
start
did.
their fortune.
I've never ever smoked, never touched a vape, and never
Yeah.
intend. Have you ever had a wee vape? You ever had? You had a go on somebody's?
I've had
had
a
a
go
wee
on
vape.
somebody's. I've had a go on somebody's, and then I go, why would you do that? It's just weird to me.
Just
'Cause-
buy a Yankee candle. Do you know what I mean?
Come to your garage with that
Come to
stuff.
my garage. There you go. Yeah. Get
Stuff
that
will get you
caveman
going.
smell.
Are you still here? The
Aren't you
monoxide's
fucking
pimping.
put the fire out?
Do you know what? I made it worse.
Did you?
Yeah, I think I did.
What did you
Smothered
put on it?
Just 3 wee tiny bits of wood.
Oh really?
Why was that?
I should have
What
cut
was-
more before we put in. No, you're fine. You're fine doing that. I think I
that
only
was all
left a
was
couple
left.
out, but yeah.
Aye. It's all good. Look,
Are you warm enough?
Oh, we're all
I'll
right.
freeze it, but
That's
it's
the main.
fine.
That's the
It's
main thing.
all
Grand.
good.
Don't you worry about it.
We can survive. We can survive. Listen, our ancestors did worse than this. It's all fine.
I would say you're doing your dream job.
I am. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I'd never really, when I first, I've always been DJing from I was about 13. It was a teenage disco that got me hooked on DJing. And then when I left school, I was training to be a car mechanic. I got 2 years in, just thought this is really not for me. And yeah, I've been DJing. I took that jump of I'll try and make it work, and it's been working from then. So
Yeah, fucking
just
right.
keep
Yeah,
going.
that's
But you
class,
can't
man.
step out of the. You have to be in the fast lane. It's like your trade too. You know, you can't go off the radar, or you
Yeah.
start getting lost. You know.
Mm.
But yeah, it's been a long go at it. You know. but I
Many
enjoy it.
years have you like been on radio for?
I started radio when I was 19, and I think I was in Cool then by 21, I think. And that was, for me, that was crazy. I couldn't believe it that I was going to get this first shot in Cool FM, the radio station, the largest radio station, and the station everyone knew.
Yeah.
And when I stepped in, I never forget my first show. It was like boys were turning around and saying, "You're on tonight." And I was like, "Don't even," because I've changed my trunks about 5 times. Or I know that. And when they gave me my first go, I was like, just didn't know. I was a mess. I was an absolute mess. Some young ones are coming on now and they're flawless. Scare you. But I was a mess. But I think now too with the mobile phones and all that TikTok and all, they're so confident now.
They really
You know,
are.
They're so confident.
yeah.
So when going on the radio, it's like it's nothing to me, pal. You know. Whereas back when I went on the radio, it was like all you were doing was writing Bebo messages. You know, so nobody saw your face. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the confidence in some kids now are coming on the radio is fantastic, and I love to see it. But
Do you though? It's your competition down the line, isn't it?
Ah, we shit.
There you go. Yes, bring it
Get that out
around.
of me
Get
now.
the fucking
No,
vape going.
no.
Yes, that's what I love.
He's up. Tam Malace
those
here, lads.
kids.
Tam Malace. He goes
No,
down
no.
with scissors and just fucking cuts her.
No, I really have always been one to support young because I realise that they're the only ones that are going to keep the generation alive. They're going to keep the radio alive, you know, and if they can, and then. You know,
I was
couldn't
thinking
be there
about.
forever.
I was thinking about this recently. I think radio's going to die with our generation.
Oh, easy.
So they need to start looking for other work.
Oh,
here.
100%.
No, I think you.
Hey,
No,
get
you're
that car
fine.
mechanic back on the go. Let's finish those 2 years.
You've got in just in time. Not
Yep.
just in time. You haven't got in just in time. You've established yourself like at the last stage. I think
Yeah.
so. You will have this. I think for the rest of your life as
Yeah.
long as you want it.
Yeah,
But kids coming forward, they're going to be moving to podcasting.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to
Yeah.
be moving to other ways
I
of.
totally agree, and it's something that comes up in like meetings all the time, where they're like, you know, the first thing they talk about is, you know, we've got another generation of ones here are going to knock us out of the park if we don't keep our eye on the ball, and this is why we try to do certain competitions that you can win money, serious amount of money,
Yeah,
to try and
yeah.
stay in there and trying to stay fresh all the time.
But that can only do so much too, can't it? Like you can only
Yeah,
throw
yeah.
so much money
Yeah.
away before people are like, no, we just want a quality product, whether
Yes.
that be a podcast. That
Yes.
Look
really
at the big Facebook competitions and stuff now too. The amount
Yeah.
of competition companies.
Oh man,
yeah.
crazy! But those guys and girls are making a fortune at that game. Fortune. It's scary. You need to know what you're doing though. I would know what it was doing.
Them one night for them. They were all come out to our garage. Excuse me, and me and Donald went out, and they literally like threw money at us for
Wow.
about 5 minutes worth.
Wow.
We just had to go on Facebook Live and just go, here's
Brilliant.
we're going to do some Google thing. You hit it, enter, and it rolls up a number between 1 and whatever, and they've won fucking thousands, or a car or a motorbike or whatever it was.
We've all been suckers though to enter in.
Oh, here, it's-
I've
Yeah,
never
yeah.
entered in one.
Never.
Maybe
No,
not.
I've always seen them and went, what's the fucking point?
I feel like because we're doing what we do now and we're in the
Mm.
public eye, you know, to a certain extent, I feel like you can't.
Imagine you won one.
I know, you'd be so embarrassed. I feel.
Sean got up to collect his Range Rover and a caravan on the back of it.
I know.
Sean Hegarty won this year.
Yeah.
Ollie says loads of money. What are you talking about?
Big time. This the Cool FM cash call. I imagine that
What's it
money
up to now?
comes. It changes all the time, doesn't it?
Well, today we had 90,000 pound there just over the weekend. So, oh boy, won that. That's combined with two radio stations, but it's a crazy amount of money.
What's
Is
the
it-
highest that's ever went?
100 and something, wasn't it? Was that before Christmas?
The girl on the, you know, when you hear the girl screaming on the jingle, and she goes, "Come on, everybody!" I want it. That was she £105,000. I mean, I'd be happy with a $5,000.
Yeah.
You know, 105. That's life changing money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people have been playing it like from day dot. You know, but it's you know, you just could be lucky and that's it.
I'll tell you a story, right? I want to ask you as well. Do you know what? I'll ask you this first and then remind me about my friend Aaron, right? I've only one, so it'll not be hard.
It's not me.
it's Ryan.
That was you, mate.
So, what was I going to talk about?
You're asking us a question.
I was going to ask you a question.
Yes.
Cool FM Cash Call, does that money come from like sponsorship and
Advertisers.
the price of the phone call?
The text.
Or where does that money come from? The price of the text?
I'll try and keep myself right here, but it's so when they say tax costs £2 plus your standard network rate, so
That goes into the pot.
everyone gets a cut. You know, the standard network rate, the phone company get a cut. The 63103 that to have that number.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot comes out of it, and then they get whatever's left of it, and then it's like, you know, selling a ballot at £1 and you have 100 ballots and you say the prize is 50 quid, you make 50 quid. You know, they're going to make money out of it.
So it's a raffle, sort
They have to. It's a
It is,
business.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Now, the aim of the game, because then you start going down to the gambling route, right? Because I read all about this on these competitions. So these competitions, you go online and they ask you a question, and it's like you have to answer that question. That's how they get out of the whole we're not gambling. You know, so they've had to answer a question and they got it right. The aim of the game with that is to answer the phone within 5 rings. So if you answer the phone within 5 rings, you're the winner. You just say the amount then. So that's the loopholes in it, you know. But
It's
yeah,
not technically classed as gambling then.
no, it's not. No, but 90 grand to 100 grand. I mean, we're all over it. Like, you know, I'm a term and condition. I can't enter.
Shade, isn't it?
Shit.
I'll enter for you, big man. We'll do a father's head.
Yeah, it is when you think to yourself sometimes, but then, you know, you give up your job and you're trying to enter the cash call, sitting there, no money coming in, going, I'll win it.
Your
So,
friend.
my friend worked with 2 colleagues, right? So there was 3 of them, and they went in on the cash call every single time it was on, which is what, weekly? Every couple of days?
Yeah, so they start it and then they finish it on the Fridays. So
These people entered it once a week religiously for like I'd say a year or 2, all
a
through
syndicate sort of
lockdown
thing,
and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, and they were like they kept putting money in every week, all entering and all taxing, and they says whatever happens, we'll all go thirds. Then one like Tuesday or Wednesday, they were like, "Listen, we've been doing this for a long time, right? There's no point in doing this anymore. You know where I'm going with this. I know,
Oh,
I know,
Keep going.
right?" All died in a car accident. No, no they didn't. I'm only messing.
sake.
The knockies up the scent. So what?
Because the phone rang and one went to get it. The driver.
Answered it in 6 calls, or 6 rings. So what happens? They all went their separate ways. They were all listened. You know, they all obviously stayed working together, but they stopped doing it. So this guy did it by himself. That Friday, he got a phone call. He won all the money. Now what he did was he gave them $1,000 each.
Oh,
Just being
good.
nice.
So what did he win though?
He won, I think, about 15 to 20 grand.
Grand each is alright.
Grand eat's okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially if you stop doing it.
But
like,
how would you
I-
feel? Like it's awful, isn't it?
I think winning big money would actually ruin you. I just
Well, it does ruin some people.
It
Yeah.
does.
It ruins
does.
families.
it does.
I don't have one, so I'll take it. Like.
You're all right.
Yeah,
If you have
yeah.
money, that's why.
Yeah.
They don't know
You
his
used to
bank
speak to them.
No, I think a serious amount the dough would really wreck you, like, you know,
Yeah.
because then everyone would be coming at you going, thought we were mates,
Exactly.
you know,
Yeah.
and you start figuring out how to divide it between people, but leave yourself enough money, you know. And
And where do you
it's just-
stop? when do you stop?
I know.
Yeah.
I
Get
know.
it out to people.
I have quite a large family too, so they'd all be wanting my money.
Yeah.
They'd be like, I haven't heard from you all year, but you know, sure, here's $5,000.
But that's it. I think the worst thing you can do as well when you win the likes of the lottery and stuff is post with the big check and have the champagne and stuff.
Aye.
You'd be like,
Thing,
I'm
isn't it?
telling no one.
Oh,
Do you
no,
know what I
I
mean?
do the big check and all.
No,
I want
way.
every fucker to know.
No.
I believe that you have to, in the National Lottery, you have to go public or you have to pay a percentage. I don't know whether
Really?
that's true. I believe you have to go, either go public because it boosts, obviously, the National Lottery.
Mm.
So you have to do a certain amount of public or they'll take taking it all back if you don't go public.
They don't take it
Jeez.
all back.
No, they'll take
They'll take a percentage of some kind.
take a percentage. So I believe, I don't know whether that's true. I've never won.
No,
so-
you can remain private, like, because there is people who've won it that don't want
Aye.
people to know.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, you can absolutely stay anonymous.
There was
That
an
comes with a
an
cost.
older couple from Moira, I think, who won big in
I think I remember that.
Oh, yeah.
They came
Yeah.
public, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
name is this woman and I live in Moira and we're trying to distribute a lot of our money and like this was this was the new. I'm the
Wow.
fucking prince of
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia. Do you know what I mean? My auntie's just died. Can we stash 300 million in your bank?
Yeah.
But this seemed so legit, and I started googling it, and I was like, maybe this girl or this woman was like a, Joe, her kids have talked about me, or she's a fan of my page or what I'm doing, and she maybe genuinely wants to give me some money to kind of get me on to the next stage. And I like ended up doing about an hour or two of research and googling the address and everything,
Amazing.
and in the end, I just deleted the email. I was like, "There's no way this is true."
She's sitting
No
in
way.
the house now with a big stack of money going, when's Sean coming to get this? Like he said, he said in the email.
Unfollows from Facebook.
I know.
Fucking
Bastard didn't even get back to me.
No, it's crazy though. It's those scam things going about. Oh, my Instagram got hacked.
So it did,
Get
aye. A
hacked.
few months ago.
Aye, and then it was contacting other pages, going, "Hey mates, looks like it was me." I had a horrible time with that.
Do you know how it
Yeah.
got hacked?
I clicked the link, so
Simple as that.
Someone sent you a message to
I-
your family and then you
so-
clicked the link.
so it was a snowball of fact. So a girl who I had done a wedding for, she sent me the message, but it wasn't.
Was it her?
So she was hacked, and then it was like, "Hi Ryan, how are you? Grand. Well, haven't heard from you in ages. Could you give us a wee hand with my small business?" Yeah. Dead on. No worries. Just pop that over. And I hit the link and nothing happened. And then I said to her, "Nothing's happened. What is it?" And she says, "What's your number?" And I sent her my number because I was like, and so I'm just giving them all my information. Yeah.
And at no point you were like, it's a bit fishy, but okay.
No, she's all right. So I thought it was her,
Oh, wow.
But yes, and then all of a sudden I went onto Facebook. It was like account expired or something like that. And then I was like, oh my
No
God.
way.
That is
So
the
they were
worst.
messaging other pages saying that you've won 400 quid. Send me your PayPal, and
Yeah.
people were falling for it. Now it's crap. Like
It's
all
the
like-
older people that always get hit with that more because they're
Yeah.
less tech savvy.
Yeah. It's
Fucking,
it's-
like
oh,
I've
it's
heard
crap.
some horror stories about it. Like,
Yeah, so I just set up a new one and was just trying my best just to inform everyone. It was nearly 10,000 people on it. Like, so how do you get through them
Hard
all?
to get
But
that back too.
but it's mental. It's going on. It's going on every day.
Mm.
It's mental.
Flip's sake.
oh,
Well,
well.
at least you've got your account, or you've a new one set up, don't you? And did you
Or
get
get-
most of your followers back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
About
Doesn't matter.
2,000 back, so they're probably the ones that care about me the most.
There you
Here,
go.
you'd rather have 2,000 than
The other
fucking
8,000 don't
100
care. They don't want to come back.
Big time.
I'll buy you some, don't worry. I'll go and buy you 8,000 Indian fellas to go follow you right now.
That was a thing, wasn't it? Like,
Oh,
were-
it's still a thing.
boys were boosting their. I know it's still a thing. Like you
Yeah,
go onto
yeah.
their followers, and you see this big spike of all these pages that
Yeah.
were just
Unbelievable.
it's
Yeah,
mental, like,
I know.
why would you want to do it? Like,
I know. Just, it's so fake, isn't it? But it's the industry we're in.
It is. It is. That's the problem.
Yeah,
With it,
and it's becoming more and more as well, where you need followers now in order to get these bigger jobs.
Oh, aye.
It's not just a matter of how good you are or what you do. It's people nowadays just go straight to your Instagram.
Aye.
Check to see how many followers you have.
That's how popular you are. Is
Yeah.
if you're blue ticked or if you've got over so many K.
Yeah,
If you see K on there, you know
Yeah.
you're doing all right.
you're doing well.
TikTok, big game TikTok. Like there's some locals, especially in Belfast, that are doing really, really well through TikTok.
What TikTokers do you like? Can you
I,
name any?
I could just see them coming up. You hear there's some doing podcast stuff, but I don't really know. But you just see them coming up and you see them
On the For
doing-
You page?
doing and they're walking. They could be doing anything silly from walking around the town asking people stupid questions, but they seem to be
I
getting a
hate
bit of a
those.
They're getting traction, aren't they?
they're getting
I
traction,
hate
you
when
know.
people
Aren't
do
they?
that.
It's,
Yeah.
What do you think? It's so weird and fake and awkward, I think.
What's there was one?
Yeah.
What price is your outfit from top to bottom? I always joke.
Really?
I just what price is your outfit top to bottom, or what is it? What are you wearing? Something
Yeah.
silly like that there. But I was like, these guys are becoming famous.
I hate when they
know,
use
I
the
know.
phone as a mic. Guys, we're in
Oh.
town right here.
I hate when they have the earphones in and they're like this with the mic up to their mouth.
So
And they're all
annoying.
so guys, come on off this week. And you're all, see if you let that go.
I know,
Everyone
I
will
know.
hear you
Hold it
clearly.
here.
I know.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
let it
yeah,
go.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
fucking connected to here. It's
It's such
if
a
you're
weird
holding
thing.
your phone like that, the mic's here. Whereas if on your earphone, the mic's there. It's no
Yeah.
different.
There was a girl on TikTok I was watching. She does this very quick crime documentary of like stories, of real bad stories that have went on. Really, really good setup. She really knew what she was talking about. But she was holding the wee thing up here, and it was all a wee bit like, nah, your sound's not right for me.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
how bad are their phones where they have to use these things? They just see other people doing it.
Aye,
And they're like,
yes.
oh,
It's popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an aesthetic.
But
more
I
than
hate
an
the
actual-
ones, and they're like, so all the fans, let us know what you want us to do next. And you're like, why don't you fucking come up with ideas?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Give us content for
Aye,
next week's
aye.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
Let us know
anybody
what
wants
you
to come
want.
down and film our entire video for us, and then you,
Yeah.
Joe, we'll just post it on your behalf, and we'll get all the views.
Benefit from it.
I don't know. TikTok annoys me, but it's a good app for certain things.
Oh, I
but
love it. Like,
It's addictive, like.
I'm so
Yeah.
addicted.
Yeah, you
It's
see,
great.
I've only put one video up, and it was just me out DJing, but I'm not really up for posting videos on it. But I would at night, like I'm lying in bed and I just constant scrolling, just flicking.
That's what
through
they want you to do, though.
Aye, yeah. You could be on there for about an hour, and then you're like,
Yeah.
seriously, like.
Yeah.
But it is. And what's it? Be Real's another one. Have you heard of this here? And I don't want to get
Old
down.
man Sean, he hasn't
I
heard
don't
of
want to
Be
get down this
No.
road. But
Be
I've heard-
Real. We can take one right now if you want on my account. But Be Real is all it is it's like Instagram, right? But you've only got a certain window of time to take a live picture, so you're not allowed to like take it. You can't take a picture outside of the app. You have to take it inside the app, right?
Right.
So and then it takes a picture on your back facing phone and your front facing phone at the same time. And then it's meant to be real, as in this is the moment I'm in right now. So if I took one, it'd be like me with my face, and it would be you two, and that's like us being real.
And what do you gain from that? Do you get followers? Do people follow you to
People
see
can
your...
follow you, yeah. People can follow your Be Real.
Hmm.
That's the next one, Sean. I'm not up for it.
It'll
I'm
take
alright.
off a wee bit. I know. Well, you do have TikTok, yeah.
Yeah.
TikTok's better because you can video stuff, and that's
Yeah, I went on the TikTok about fucking 6 months ago, and about 3 or 4 videos went viral in about a week, and as
Yeah.
all, I'm fucking cleaning up.
oh
on this
yeah,
here.
100%.
Watching tutorials as all fucking stain me up.
Yep.
And then ever since,
I
400, 500, 600 views a video, and you're like, you bastards, rope
Yeah,
me in.
It's a stinking algorithm, like.
Yeah,
You getting about 3,000, 4,000 your first one. You're like, this is brilliant.
yeah,
This is
yeah.
class.
yeah. Now the odd one has done well, like, and I've
Mm.
I've a pretty, I think I've more on fucking TikTok than I do on Instagram. I've only really took
Aye.
Instagram serious the past maybe 2 or 3 months, where I've been like, right, I seriously need to build this here because people are just snowballing and people are fucking jumping over my head here and getting ahead of me. People who have been gigging for a year or two
Yeah.
because they're taking it more serious. And
Mm.
I always took Facebook serious, you see.
Yeah.
And when I was building the Rodney stuff, I was like, just directing everyone to Facebook. Everything was just Facebook.
Yeah.
And now Facebook's almost obsolete. I'm
Oh,
like,
it's-
how do I get those to move over to Instagram? But
But now the
It's hard,
Instagram
like.
ones are moving over to TikTok.
is that right?
And then the TikTok ones will eventually
Be
move on
Real?
to something else. They won't move on to Be Real. But Be Real will be a great competitor for Instagram in terms of pictures. But
Mm.
and I do think it'll keep getting bigger. But I think TikTok is just leading the charge at the minute.
Mm.
Until it doesn't one day, which it won't. There'll always be another new app
Oh,
or a new
oh,
thing
aye.
or something to come along, and there'll always be new opportunity that comes along with that.
Yeah.
MySpace
Friends
and
read
Zero,
it, do you know what I mean?
yeah. Live
Remember that?
journal.
You used to have to. You had 3 loves, 3 hearts, 3 hearts a day.
And
You can
Bebo?
share the
Aye,
love,
Bebo,
yeah.
aye,
yeah.
yeah.
You
Uh,
top,
plenty of fallouts there, wasn't there? where
you
your
used to have a
top
wee video in
60?
your bio, didn't you?
That's
You could
right.
change it whenever you
Oh,
wanted.
mate, my video was like some sort of stacked out scrapper car doing 360s.
No
That's
way.
And it was like, oh, what is it? It was just
Yeah.
a wee video going around. Spade.
Wouldn't you love though to just be able to click into it now
Oh,
and just
no.
God.
scroll down your profile?
See what
I know.
you were
Just
writing.
once, like
I took
yeah.
a screenshot of my profile. I still have screenshots. Of
Really?
it, like yeah, just to like
Fucking hell.
remember what it used to be like.
Used
Those
to,
were the
there was a
days.
top banner as well, and you could put like what you were doing that night. You know,
That's
it was good.
right.
It's
Yeah,
just scrolled across.
yeah.
I used to be like, catch me at Scratch nightclub.
Scratch.
And it used to go along
Jesus.
the top. Catch me. You think people clicked into my page, went all out of the way to go, DJ's playing a Scratch. You can see it across.
Yeah.
Unreal,
Oh,
unreal.
Did,
Fucking
did
those
you
were the
have a
days.
DJ Sean, did you dabble in it a wee
Yeah, I
bit?
DJ'd, yeah. I was called managerial material because I was manager of a cinema at the time. So I called myself managerial material, and I used to do all wee things. Now I couldn't. What I did was I used to like pre-mix at home and then bring it to nightclubs
Have
and
you
stuff.
a DJ name?
Yeah, Ryan, eh?
Right, eh?
That's your actual name
Well,
too.
Ryan Annett is my surname.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But what I'm
yeah.
saying is you're not
Oh, no.
managerial
No,
material
gosh, no,
after
no.
picking up a text for what?
No.
Your most important part of the thing was
No,
having the
no.
name.
No, I never. Ryan, how that actually came around was a radio producer years ago couldn't say my full name. He just the N and the A just didn't. He was trying to connect them together to make it sound alright, and he just looked at me and he says, just Ryan A will do. And I was like, oh, you're right.
He's like, I'm away to buy my child some nippies here.
Yeah, and I just stuck with it. But it's funny, I was out DJing on Saturday night, and there was a group of American ones was playing in Queens and Newcastle, and I could hear them talking. It was just early start of the night. My name's up behind, but the A and the N from Ryan, the A, are very close together in the logo. That DJ's called Rihanna. That DJ's called Rihanna. And I was like, no, seriously, I'm gonna have to let you know I'm not DJ Rihanna.
You should be. See, I think you should do a brand change. 2022, baby. Gender's a construct. You know what I mean?
I know,
Right, DJ Rihanna. Eh?
Tell us about your DJing career. Like, where did that go?
Where did the managerial material end up?
Do you know what? I'll tell you where he ended, right? In Lurgan one night, I was booked to do a birthday party. It always ends in
Lurgan.
I don't know. I have visions of Father Ted, you know, the boy with the one record. You know?
Oh,
I had a couple more than that.
Shows up managerial material.
So I did a birthday party for a wee lad, right? Now I say a wee lad, he was probably early 20s. And this girl came over and she goes, I'm his cousin, like we'll call him Martin. She goes, I'm Martin's cousin. We're just back from holidays and he hates this song. She handed me a CD and she goes, he fucking hates this song. Will you please play it? It'll drive him mad. And I was all, no, it's his birthday, Joe. He's booked me. I'm not going to play a song that's going to annoy him.
Yeah.
And she's all, just fucking play the CD. And I goes, leave it there. And then he came over or something, or I asked a couple of his mates, and I was like, here, will I play this song? And they were all, whatever you want, I don't care. So I was not going to play it. And the girl kept coming over and she goes, have you been speaking to me? Are you going to play it? And I was like, no, I'm not going to play it. And she goes, please just play the song. And I goes, I'll see. And then she came back over later and she goes, are you going to play the song? And I goes, I'm not going to play the song. And she goes, fucking play the song or I'll stab you. So I put the song on repeat and just fucking walked home, and I left all my shit. I had hired speakers and stuff from the local music shop. I left them all. I was like, you fucking have your song, because it's the last song you'll hear tonight. And I just walked home.
Or I'll stab you. Wow.
Play that song or I'll stab you.
Fucking hell.
So see if you're on air some night at 2 a.m. and there's two lads blocked laughing. It's, well, one lad blocked laughing, another lad just laughing. It's me and him going, fucking play it to Unlimited or I'll stab you.
You're getting stabbed.
Just Arn vaping and me fucking lit.
What an extreme. Play it or I'll stab you.
It's Lurgan for you.
Fucking hell.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Different part of the world.
I did have a bad experience doing a wedding. Sometimes when you're doing a wedding, there's two weddings on same venue, and they split the rooms. They got these big board sort of things come across, and the wedding that I was DJing at, they said go play whatever you want, just all the cheese of the day. So I was doing that, and I was playing Rock the Boat as you do, at a wedding, and they were all down on the floor and they're all giving it welly to Rock the Boat, and this guy came out of nowhere, came up and he grabbed me and he says, what did my daughter tell you about playing crap music? I was like, hold on a wee second here, what? And he said, what did my daughter tell you about playing crap music? I said, mate, your daughter's on the dance floor giving it welly here, like, she's enjoying it. And he kept going and kept going, and then somebody came and grabbed him, and that was it. There's me, what the heck went on there? It was the wrong room. He was out having a smoke, and he came in. Obviously, the DJ next door was informed, don't be playing any cheese, don't be playing any crap. He just came in, obviously blocked.
No way.
He came in after having a smoke, and he came straight up. What did my daughter tell you? Here's me, mate. I've never had a fight in my life, but that night I thought that was me ready to rumble.
Fucking
hell. But see, after the gig, because whoever took him marched him back in, he came out back in like a 5-year-old and apologised. He said, I'm sorry, mate. I just wondered, I seen this girl on the dance floor giving it stacks. Your daughter didn't say play crap music, like she's on that floor.
That's unbelievable.
The daughter, she was on the dance floor with a CD in one hand, a knife in the other.
What did I say after playing crap music?
Sean's in the corner.
I just pictured the dad like sort of leaving the dance floor, and you're all, this one's for Jonathan. Shout to Jonathan, accept your apology, Jonathan. This is DJ Rihanna.
This was Jonathan tried to murder me 5 minutes ago.
Some can be tricky though, like you get the bride and groom and they're saying don't play this but play this, don't play this, and you get to a point where you're stuck, you're going, I'm gonna have to, like if I have to get Shamrock Tell Me Ma out here, she said don't play it, but I'm gonna have to, and it's the rest of the guests that's the problem. The rest of the guests are there for that music. I'm trying to get the next gig here, you know. So it's hard, but that's my only one bad experience of doing well. I almost gave
Oh,
it up
that's all
after
good.
that. I thought I'll just
Really?
stick with radio, but I travelled on. No bother.
Tell you what, seeing Cool FM too, it's like McGabry. It's like nobody's gonna get you in the middle of the night in Cool FM. Like you have to go through about 15 fucking soundproof
You
doors.
think that, though?
Well, yeah, you think that, but
You
yeah.
think that someone will know their way in.
yeah, me.
You know, but it is. It's in the sticks, like, isn't it? You know.
That's an
Aye,
odds, isn't it?
Aye, but
Yeah.
Industrial
estate. Aye,
Yeah.
but
Middle of nowhere, like.
Yeah.
Joe, I was on my way. One time I was on my way to a show and 2 deer sprinted up the road beside me,
Welcome
like
to
literally
Newton
round the corner from Newton Arts.
Fucking
2
hell.
big fucking deer.
Wow.
And I drove past and I was all, what the fuck? That was bananas. Like 2 big deer,
Were
like
you-
huge
Were you
things.
dressed as Rodney on your way down, or did you get dressed as
Oh,
Rodney?
I was wearing a Santa costume.
Were you?
Oh my god.
I could just jibbers.
I fucking said more than jeepers when I seen them. But there's one night as well, right? I used to do 1 to 3 in the morning.
What
So
a
I was
shift, fucking hell.
horrible,
That
right?
is awful.
So I was driving home one night and I
Just
drove.
pre-record that.
No, because you want the live experience. This was when I was just starting off, and I
Right.
wanted the live
Yeah,
interaction
yeah,
with
yeah.
people and working the text and the phones and
Fucking
you know.
hell.
So
Psychopaths at 2 in the morning directing
know.
with you.
You realise how
know.
many people are listening to that
here
time in the morning?
it had a
crazy.
huge audience.
Look at
Yeah,
good figures
yeah.
for
Night-
Taxi
night shift,
drivers
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
people going
Factory
McDonald's
workers and all,
drive-through
yeah,
and
yeah.
one night I was coming home about 3:15 and it was like pitch black, middle of nowhere up those back roads between Newton Ards and Belfast, and I drove over a hedgehog, but like the wheels never touched it. You know, it went like over the car went over it.
Yeah.
And I drove on for another minute or two, and I was like, I should have stopped. Why did I not stop? And like, I was even going to lift it and put it in the boot and bring it home. And you know, my kids could have played with it the next day, and we'll let it go out the back alley or something.
Of a dead hedgehog.
No, it was still alive. It was, you know, it was. I never drove over it with the wheels.
got you. Fucking flies and all.
Did you bring any
Big tire mark over it.
Dad works for the radio station. He's going to bring concert tickets home. Look at it, brought you. It's a hedgehog.
We've won a hedgehog.
Dead Sonic.
So drove over the top of it, right? Wheels never touched it. Drove on for an extra couple of minutes, and then I was like, why did I not go back and get that? And it played in my mind so much. I got about 7 or 8 minutes up the road, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going back. I'm going to go back and get it, or at least move it to the side of the road, because I felt bad if the next car come over and flatten it. So I drove back, right? And I was driving. I had no idea where I was, and I was delusional because it was so late at night, right? So I was driving and driving and driving, and I kept looking and looking, and eventually I seen it on the other side of the road, and I was all, yes, there it is. Drove up the road, spun round, turned round, kept the main beam lights on, opened the car door, sprinted towards it with a jumper that I got out of the boot. It was a fucking brick. It wasn't even a hedgehog. And I was like... I was devastated.
Oh, man.
I thought you were going to say you killed it in the way back.
No, that would have been brilliant. My kids' faces the next day when I hand them a brick wrapped in a jumper. He's going, take turns at patting that. I had to look for a hedgehog after that to fucking stick my boot in it. I was like, yes, a hedgehog is getting it tonight.
Oh, fucking
Horrible.
hell.
Brutal.
Yeah.
So Ryan's doing his dream job. Are you doing yours, Aaron? Do you think you are?
I'm just doing...
Just
I'm-
floating through
I'm
life?
Just being me.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck I'm at, like.
What
Yeah,
would
fucking
be the dream? Do you think, would you love to go full time stand up? Like, I know you're a mixture at the minute, aren't you, between stand up
I'm
and
sort of semi
videography and stuff?
full-time at the minute. Like,
Yeah.
I've fucking got so much other things going on, and obviously I do make some from stand-up, but back in the day, it used to be I wanted to do late night TV, so I wanted to like present like a late show or something like that.
Oh, not the game show things that are...
No. Like Ireland has the late show with Ryan
Mm.
Tuberty or whatever, and then in America you have like the James Corden one and Jimmy Fallon and all that stuff. That was always my big thing, and then of recent years I've sort of fallen out of love with those TV shows because they've become so formatted and they're not as edgy as they used to be, and a little bit. So I think for me it's just do what the fuck makes me happy or whatever I like. You know what I mean? I think that's all it is. There doesn't have to be a particular like, because it's always changing, whether it's a TV show, a comedy skit, a flipping stand-up show.
But surely you're in the place now to do your own.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah,
why
yeah.
can't you create your own? You have the platform, you have the audience,
Oh yeah.
you have a following,
Yeah. I could.
you have
do
the
it.
money, you have the fucking, you have the equipment.
Yeah, 100%. But then that's what podcasts really are. Essentially, they're the next development or the next iteration of a late night talk show. Essentially, only
Yeah.
everyone can sort of do it, and there's different. What the beauty is that the era we're living in here is that the audience really has the power and the control now. So if they want to say, I like watching Sean, I'm going to watch Sean. Or if they I like watching Ryan, I'm going to watch Ryan. They don't have to be like, oh, I've only got these 3 people. I've got Jonathan Ross, Graham Norton, and this other guy to watch. I can't. That's all it's on TV. With the internet, they can do if they like. So look, I'll put up stuff whenever I feel like it, whenever I like it, or whenever I have an idea or concept or something I think is original and different. I like doing stuff that isn't the same thing everyone else is doing. That's why I kind of didn't really jump on the podcast train, not because there's anything wrong with it, but just because I want to think, what's the next iteration of that I could do? What's the next new thing? And I think, I'm in no rush. I'm in a good position right now. When I feel like getting into something, then I'll do it. That'll mean more to me. But yeah, I'm just having fun.
Yeah.
'Cause that's life's too fucking look. Cost of living.
Yeah.
Fucking life's can be depressing if you want it to be. I'm just having a good time. That's all until I die.
Yeah.
Like
And you're going to be having a good time next year with your show, Africa?
My first solo show next year. Yeah.
Joe, I actually thought you would have called it Africa, Aaron Butler. I thought you would have called it that. I know it would have been hard to sort of write on a
It would have
poster.
been
and
on a
people
poster. It
getting
would have
that
been a
kind
lot of words. Yeah. I just went for the one solid title, Africa. Yeah. I'm excited about that. That was putting on sale for the first time because this is my first solo show. It was like nervous almost because I was like, what if you put this on and 2 people buy tickets and then you're fucking.
It's never going to be the case, though.
You don't know though. You don't know. Like, and then I was I got emotional about it too because I started thinking, fuck, this all started so many years ago, really, and coming back into the comedy scene and going out again, all this sort of stuff. And then I was just really thankful that people did buy tickets. So it'll sell out. There's 30 tickets left currently, and I'm looking forward to a good night. And thank you to everyone that has bought so far. Debating whether or not to do a second night or not, we'll see.
Sure, time's on your side.
We've got 4.5 months to go. So I don't know, maybe I put on a second one in May, June, something like that. But until you see it announced, for now, it's only going to be the one. And yeah, we'll see what happens.
And the whole show's about you visiting Africa recently?
There's stuff about that in there because I went to Uganda to save all the children. Went there, and it's also a bit about just material I've been doing over the last few years that's in there as well.
I don't mean to spoil the show for you, but you did save all the children, didn't you, when you were out there?
They're fine now.
They're all fine.
Yeah, they're good. I don't know why they're complaining. See if Oxfam or put any adverts on.
Don't
It's
listen
fake
to them.
news. Yeah.
It's old footage.
It's archived. It's stock footage that they've just got. They're fine now. They're all good over there.
Those flights are all dead, aren't they?
But yeah, so that's I'm going to get it filmed, going to get a special made out of it, all that. So, have you got any
Class.
solo shows coming up next year?
I'm going to launch a wee tour, I think.
Yeah.
Just, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put on a tiny, tiny tour, about 6 dates in 30 to 50 seater rooms.
I love that. Yeah, I love those wee
I
rooms.
just love the intimacy of it,
Yeah.
and I don't want to put too much pressure on myself too, because I hate selling tickets.
Well, that's another thing I
hate it.
learned is that, like, first day I put my show on, there was 100 tickets sold. I was like fucking buzzing. I was like, oh my god, this is incredible. And it slows down, and you start getting nervous, and you're like, oh my god, what happened here? Like, you know what I mean? And you start freaking out, but you gotta realize it's a slow burn sometimes. But yeah, it was fucking. Just I understand now from seeing everyone else and seeing them guys selling shows what they've been through now, and I'm like, okay, now I understand why people are so.
It's hard work, like.
It is. It's difficult to sell tickets, but look, it seems to be going all right. So
yeah, that's one thing you don't have to worry about, Ryan, isn't it? Selling tickets.
No, I don't know how you do it. Like even the stand-up thing, I
yeah.
did have a thought back many years ago. As my grandfather used to always say, I used to always try and like impersonating people and stuff. I used to enjoy doing that, and he always said to me, "You're going to be a stand-up comedian," but I really don't. No way. Like I couldn't going out onto the stage when I host events. I try to add a wee bit of like quirkiness and. But then I go, oh, it's falling flat in its face. I move on to what I'm actually here for, I just couldn't do it. No way. Like, so
I think you
fair
could.
plays.
I think you could.
nah, I couldn't.
No.
No balls.
No, anybody can do it. Like realistically,
Yeah.
like any fucker can get
See,
a 5-minute slot.
I
But
have the stories. I just don't know how to
structure.
get in
But that
and
comes with
execute
experience.
the story.
Everyone starts at the bottom. Do you know what I mean?
But,
Everyone. and there's open mic nights and stuff now, and there's places where you can go, and you
I actually
just have to start.
remember you saying to me, "Come on to one of the gigs now. I'll get you on. Here's me." Nope. You're right. I'm sick that night. Sick that night. But I used to go and watch. I used to go to the Empire Comedy Club every Tuesday night, and I loved it. What I used to go for as well is just watching the hosts like Jake and Colin and how they interacted with the crowd, and I took a lot away from that on hosting events and how they get the crowd's attention. I always thought they were brilliant. So every Tuesday night I used to go.
It was magical back then,
Oh, it
wasn't
was
it?
brilliant. But I have to say I love what you guys are doing in the comedy scene in Northern Ireland. It's freaking fantastic, man.
It's the best I've ever seen
Oh,
it.
it's so good.
Ever seen it, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's so good. And
mad.
now we would, like, me and Melissa, we'd pop on YouTube all the time. We very rarely watch TV, like normal TV.
Yeah.
We're watching I'm a Celebrity. But once I'm a Celebrity over, it's jumping on all the other guys' podcasts, all you guys, this whole comedy circle, you know, and I think it's brilliant. We'll sit and watch a podcast. So it is working, you know, and it's working. And I'm glad to see a lot more people watching, you know, and a lot more people getting into it. But comedy there was nothing happening in Northern Ireland, sure. There wasn't for
a
years.
long time.
You just had your normal guys who were doing it.
Yeah. Everyone was struggling, like up until 4 or 5 years ago. And then I think the pandemic as well is one of the biggest things that ever happened to the comedy scene here.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It really is. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
it has put so many acts on the map, and
Yeah.
I've said for years, like we have the quality and the ability,
Yeah.
we just don't have the platform.
Yeah.
So what we're doing now is we have our own platforms.
Yeah.
Fucking, excuse me. We have our own platforms, and we're doing it for ourselves. Like I remember I said on Shane's podcast a few weeks ago about Live at the Apollo, as like, cause somebody in our agency got on Live at the Apollo, and my agent was all like, "I'm gonna push for you to do it," and I was like, "Happy days, thanks very much." But in my heart, I was like, I don't care.
It's
I don't
not
care.
2009 anymore. That would have been great
Yeah.
if it happened then.
Yeah.
Live the Apollo, it's
Exactly.
one of those things again. It's an old medium, and take
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
golden era of TV comedies, kind of from the UK anyway. It's kind of hit a bit of a bumpy road. Like, you know, you think there's not really, like, you've got 8 out of 10 Cats does Countdown, and then what else is
Mock
good,
the
you
Week's left too. It's
Oh,
done,
so
like, you know,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, it was
But they all
fantastic.
seem to be on their way out. But I remember Diona says to me after that podcast a couple of days later, and she listened to it, and she was like, Why did you say, you know, that you didn't want to do Live at the Apollo? It makes you sound like you have no ambition and stuff." And I was like, I didn't mean for it to come across like that, because what the reason I said that is because I want to build stuff for myself here.
That
Do you know
as
what I mean?
well.
You look at
Yeah.
what the lads are doing in terms of the SSE and
Yeah.
big podcast, fucking live shows and things like that. That's what I'm aiming for. I'm not aiming for something to happen in another country for me.
Yeah.
I was like, I want things to happen here and for me to become a household name here.
Yeah.
And then I'll start worrying about across the water
That's the way
and,
to do
you
it.
know, America and things like that. But I want to do here first and foremost and have a
How-
big audience.
How do you work your material in to do somewhere across the water? Because do they get a lot of our sort of humour? Would you try and include that?
I did do, yeah. I haven't gigged that much over the water in recent years. I did all that at the beginning of my career when I was just like, I want to be the fucking world's best comedian, you know,
Yeah.
and then you kind of take a step back and you're like, well, focus on one area at a time, you know,
Yeah,
and try
yeah.
and conquer one thing before you try and conquer the whole world. But more recently, I've started doing more local material because I tend to gig here more locally now because I have
Yeah.
like two small kids here. So as long as they're in school here and we can't leave this country or this area, then I have to focus solely on here or as much as possible on here. But I think they do get our sense of humour a lot more now and our accents and stuff, whereas they're more exposed to it now,
Yeah.
whereas they never used to be. But it was until Dairy Girls came along and
I
then
was going to say that.
you know,
actually, yeah.
people started watching or paying attention more to over here. But before that, people, you would have spoke to somebody would have been on TV from here in England, and people were all, "Oh, you're unapologetically Northern Irish or Irish or whatever,"
Yeah,
and you're like, nobody else is. You're not saying that to anyone else. Do you know what I mean?
I
It's like,
actually
why
noticed
do we
that,
have to dumb down what we're doing or clean up what we're saying or change who we are or change our accents for people who are just not exposed to us yet?
See, in the radio game, the people always say, you know, you work. So for me, I'm proud to be working for Cool FM. It's #1 radio station in Northern Ireland. But people say, "Have you ever thought of Radio 1?" I'm going, I have, but it's not for me. You know, I've 2 kids here.
Yeah.
My family's here. You know, when I was younger, yes, but people always, for some reason, they're always thinking, get on into there, and you're like, if you can build up your own wee bubble here, you're nothing to worry about.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
it. Yeah.
And they'll, you know, if they like you, they'll keep you and they'll support you the whole way through your journey. You know,
That's it.
but not for me.
Yeah. That's it. I think for me, it just comes down to, like, obviously families first, and then if you're earning enough money where you don't have to go elsewhere
Yeah.
and sleep on somebody's couch or stay in a hotel room on your own, you know, because you know yourself, Armin, you were away somewhere and you've done a gig. After the gig, you're like, now I'm just in a fucking random city on my own, and you know, you just have to phone everybody and be all like, "Is it raining over there?" You know, you just, for me, it's like I love that I can just gig, and 45 minutes later, I'm at home in bed, or
I mean, some gigs you do over here in terms of DJ gigs as well, you'd probably be quicker flying to London, you know, off the road.
Yeah, right enough.
I know we're doing some. I've getting a lot of bookings down south recently, and we're talking like 3 hours journey. And you're sort of starting to really plan it out then. You're going, right, okay,
it's a full day.
this is not becoming a holiday.
Yeah,
more than
yeah.
you know, where are we stopping to eat? Where are we
Yeah.
where are we going to have a kip on the way down here? But yeah, it's very similar, you know, in terms of what we do. You know, the comedy thing. You're looking to get the gig, and then you're looking to impress when you're on there. And when I do weddings, it's like somebody's big day. You know, and the pressure's on. Like, wouldn't like to be a photographer, mind you, at a wedding, but I mean, the DJ can. The DJ
I was a
can
videographer at many weddings.
No, I
Worst days of my life.
Big respect
Were
to
they?
them.
Oh, filming a wedding is the biggest fucking ball ache ever.
No, I couldn't do it. I see the guys. There's some very, very talented guys out there, but I'm like, how can you walk away with that wee fucking memory
SD
card
card, yeah.
and go, this is somebody's life.
Well,
Yeah.
there's that, plus they're boring as fuck. See, once you've done one wedding, it's the same shit.
Same
It's-
routine.
Imagine filming the same movie over and over. You know what I mean?
From 6 in the morning to fucking
Imagine Quentin
one.
Tarantino made Pulp Fiction 100 times. That's what it's like being a wedding videographer. Fucking lick the back of my gooch, right? I have no desire to go back to that shit again.
The only thing I could do is mess up a first dance. That's it. The rest of the night will just go the way they want.
Imagine playing Coolio Gangster's Paradise. They're fucking Unchained Melodies meant to be playing. Oh fuck.
I'm sure you get the same first dance song over and over again.
Aye.
It's probably
What's the most
mostly
requested first dance song? Ed
Ed
Sheeran.
Sheeran.
Used to be
Has to be.
It used
Has
to be
to
Ed
be.
Sheeran, but they're starting to really coming out
Diverse
now.
out.
They're going. Can you play Taylor Swift? And it's like an acoustic version of something or whatever. But it was always Ed Sheeran, Perfect or something like that. But some are a wee bit more upbeat now. They don't really want to do that whole cheesy stuff. you
I
know?
would like to tell you one that I filmed before. Oh my god, right? This is going to be the most out of left field first wedding dance song ever, right? I'm fucking guys, right? So I was filming a wedding in Majorca, right? Had to get flew over and all. Whole carry on, no big deal. Longest day of my fucking life. It like freaking
with the local, local
yeah,
people getting married in Mallorca.
yeah. Local people get married away. They fucking, let me tell you, longest day of my life. At one point during the wedding, they were like, "We have hired horses to go get filmed. Us getting filmed on these horses. We drove like 2 hours on their wedding day to get filmed riding these horses. Got to the horses, and the bride went, 'That horse doesn't like me. I'm not gonna get on it.' And I was like."
You'll get up on that fucking horse.
So I have a video of just her standing beside the horse, just being like,
Point.
and the husband's on his, like fucking a knight's tail, fucking no problem, like a
No
javelin on
way.
him, right? Get back. Then, now, because they drove so far, the dinner had to be delayed for the entire guest. They're in Majorca, sun's beating down, everyone's steaming because they've had to keep drinking because their dinner's got delayed by about 4 hours because I had to go
No way.
film her holding the horse's hand, right? Fucking so we get to, it's like 11:30 at night. The first dance still hasn't happened yet. I'm thinking I'm booked until the first dance. Get me home to fuck.
Oh, that's it.
First dance is about to happen. Like, right, what if they fucking pick these two loony fucking bins? Fucking
It's R. Kelly trapped in the closet, fucking 14 songs in a row, isn't it, with no break?
a whole new world, right?
No way.
But it's the Katie Price and Peter Andre version.
For a joke?
That's their song. And they specifically
Oh, God.
requested the Peter Andre and Katie Price version of A Whole New World. Now, I wanted to fucking throw the camera in Majorca Beach and never to see it again. Like, I was like, fuck this. And I was, yeah.
That horse should have kicked her in the head.
Sounded like a belter wedding, didn't it?
Like, why though? Did you ever get the reason why they chose that?
The song, I didn't even want to know. Didn't even want to. By the way, nice people. Like, fucking, they're not bad people or anything like that.
Yeah,
But
of
it was
course.
just one of those ones where it was one situation, lady another situation, lady. And then when that final song came on, I was like, what are we doing here? Like, what am I doing with my life? That was like midlife crisis, and I was only 24. So I was like, get me back to comedy. Fuck this. This is not worth it. Like, yeah.
No,
No
you do get gigs like that where they have, like, the bride has it down to a T what she wants and what is going to happen.
Bridezilla's.
Yeah.
And I just go with it. I'm like, that's
Are you
yours.
married,
You
Ren?
have to.
No, I'm not married.
Are you?
No.
Have you plans to get married?
No,
or
because
are you
I've seen-
engaged or anything? No.
No,
Oh,
I've
just
seen what way
girlfriend.
weddings go, and I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Suppose,
You
yeah, you've
know?
had an insight to loads of weddings, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, and they're all very structured. They are very, like, I know that dinner's going to happen at 5. You know, they'll be in for 5
Of
for dinner.
course.
It's going to be speeches.
Yeah.
It's going to be, you know, be there for 7 because they're going to turn around the room, and I will be set up by 7:30 at every gig.
Yeah.
When the gig goes on, you know, when they go on a wee bit, I'm like, you're not eating into my time. I'll be dead.
Yes, right.
Dead. Because it's hard work. Like, it's see doing a 5-hour gig. Like, I've loved every single one, apart from the one the boy was about to chin me, but I've loved every single gig that I've done. But it's hard to go get that first 3 hours out of the way. When I see the buffet and the buffet's coming out, that's my time to take a half-hour break, get a quick vape, and
I love how
and a
that's in your
sandwich.
contract.
It is.
You're like, look, I'll do your wedding, but I want you to know, I want to be very clear on something. As soon as that buffet's out, Spotify playlist is taking the wheel, baby.
We have the same. I have the same mix. It sort of plays during the buffet's played back. Well, my big mate who helps me and he sets up. He's like a meerkat as soon as he hears that song because he knows that's buffet. So he's like, buffet. Is it?
I love how you've a designated name just to alarm you when the buffet's happening.
Stevens came along to every.
Smells the fucking fish bites and he just pops up from behind his desk.
Is that buffet? Are we going over? Some wedding buffets are better than their main course. Like,
Oh,
some
yeah.
wedding
They
some
go all
good
out,
ones.
don't they?
Unbelievable. I had one there. I done a wedding and they had not so long ago. They had Domino's for their buffet.
Oh,
Fuck me.
But I'd said this. So the
that
gig-
would actually be cheaper than you think, I would say.
Yeah.
it was Domino's must have put on a bit of an offer for them or a deal, but there was easy 60 boxes there of
class.
large Domino's of anything you wanted. Me and Big Stephen were well up into the queue.
Fucking right.
See, I don't wear a suit to a wedding, right? I just go quite comfortable, you know, jeans, and I don't wear a hoodie. I'll just put a black top on, and I sit out like a sore thumb. But I'm normally first in the queue, the buffet. You know,
Don't think that's something to be proud of, man. I don't think that's an achievement. Book me a DJ your wedding. You'll find me first in line for your
well,
buffet.
I'm just letting your audience know right now that if you do book me for a wedding,
Get out
I
of
am-
his fucking
get
way
out of
when
my
the
way.
buffet starts.
that 3 hours was murder. Get out of my way. I'm on tea or a coffee and a sandwich.
Just watching the headphones hitting the ground.
Yeah.
See when
Oh,
the
dear.
see when the
A Pizza Hut, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and he's fucking.
You
The
see,
blinkers
what I
are
try to
on.
do is I just sort of calm it down. I'm going to take a 30-minute break, but I don't really let them know the buffet's out, so nobody charges at it.
So you get-
I get the buffet.
get the best.
And then I then announce that the buffet.
He's sitting at the back of the room with a paper plate and he just fucking presses a button. So it goes, there is now a buffet. He's fucking
I tell you, man.
unreal. man.
I need more than the guests at the buffet. Like, well, they've just done
Fair
a
play to you.
3-4 course meal, right? They don't
You're
want
there for
chicken
5
fingers
hours
on
too.
it.
Fuck me. You deserve it.
Thank you, Sean.
Yeah. No, I
You
get it.
deserve
Yeah. It's
No,
funny.
but there's some that would just be like, you know, I went to a gig one time and this one of the staff members, she smacked my hand for going up to the buffet. So she was like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "This is for the guests near me, but I'm the DJ." And she says, "But it's for the guests near me, but I am a guest." She's like, "You're not part of this wedding." But I had to get the bride on there then. She was Bridezilla.
Brilliant.
She went up and she says, "I'll not pay for any more this year if you don't get him food now."
Get him fed.
Fucking
right
right.
away.
Yeah.
Right away, you know.
Yeah.
Glad they looked after you. Have you? Is there ever any you do and there's no buffet?
Yes, and it's very
I
disappointing
was going to
actually.
say,
See what it is.
do you bring like a wee emergency Snickers
No,
or something
yeah.
just in case? Emergency
Called a
buffet.
nightclub.
He has a hot plate in his weekend.
So no, we do. Some of them that just don't get. They just don't. You know, they don't want to pay for that, and they go. By the time the guests have had food, they don't want. They don't want extra food. Nobody really eats it. So if they don't have many evening guests, and then they'll just say scrap the buffet. Sometimes they just put out, you know, crisps
Sandwiches
and
and stuff.
or like this crisp sandwich sort of things. The main thing at the minute. And to do that, but I'd hammer a bit of that there too. Like not shy of a
Yeah,
buffet.
it
It
like,
doesn't
so-
have to be hot food. You can.
I don't mind. Whatever they've got going, like. No,
Well,
I'd sometimes
lovely.
ask as well when I go in if the chefs have any extra dinner. So
You not just eat before you leave the house, no?
no, it's the cost of living's horrendous. Oh, wait, it was going to stage. I was playing the merchant not so long ago, and you have to come up through the kitchen, service lift. Come up through the kitchen, and the chefs are all working away. Any hot dinners? Their mom went, oh, maybe one left over. Here's me.
Fucking
Hot
hell.
dinners.
Any hot
Brilliant,
dinner?
mate.
Oh,
It's
don't
funny as
ask, you
fuck.
don't get.
Exactly.
Do you know what I
That's
mean? Like,
true.
you don't
You
ask, you
have
don't
to.
get.
You
That's
have
true.
to.
Yeah.
So most of them are not really that nice because they're doing catering for 200 odd people, so they're all on these big racks just sitting in this hot. Have you ever been to an award ceremony and you get it? It's like rubber because they're all
Been
just
sitting
sitting
out
in
for
this
so long.
big-
Yeah.
Aye, they're
Yeah.
not really that fresh, like.
Do you ever have a venue that you DJ a wedding at? Because I'm sure you've did loads on repeat. Did you have one that you go, I really look forward to that venue? Like, is there?
Yeah, I mean,
Don't want you to be favoritism or anything, but just because we play comedy clubs. So say for example, me and him get booked for like the Empire or something like that. We're like, oh, we really love
Yeah,
that gig
yeah.
or that gig, you know?
There's a place just out by Lisburn, I think it is, Larchfield.
Oh, yes,
Larchfield. They have llamas on the ground. Well, whether it's a llama or an alpaca, I don't know. But they have, and I like going up there. They make the guys up there. No, I know there's something about the llamas.
You walk into the buffet.
Anybody tries to touch a plate, you fucking bite the hand off it.
No, it's just they
Spit
do
in
have
their
llamas
face.
on their way up, right? I think it's llamas or alpaca, but they always make your experience of getting in there, getting to the buffet, a dream. Do you know what I mean? No, it's an easy venue to get into, get set
Yeah.
up, and get away. There's have you heard of Finnebrook? Finnebrook Woods.
Finnebrook Woods, yes,
Yeah.
I've shot there before.
Stunning venue.
Beautiful, yeah.
I always said if I was going to get married, I would go away, get married, and come back and have the party in Finnebrook. It's T-piece.
Yeah,
So and
Is
it's,
it local?
yeah.
just near Downpatrick.
Class.
Man, Finnebrook's beautiful. See,
Yeah.
it's all lit up at night and stuff. It's good. And they do
Oh,
like
yeah.
party games and stuff. Outside. Like at least have toasted marshmallows and all. It's all
Oh,
very
lovely.
new.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you can bring your own sort of like it's like festival feel. So you can bring your own sort of like burger trucks. And I've been there and they've had like all these trucks all sitting like it's like a festival, like burgers, pizzas, an ice cream van there. It's good. I like it.
Class.
But there's loads of great venues, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just it's about the ones that are easy to get into and get away and not
Yeah.
a struggle,
I always find like the hotels now are kind of starting to slack behind a wee bit from all these fads and
Oh, yeah.
things that are coming
Yeah.
up. That are more modern now, whereas they have to
Like
all try and
teepees,
yeah,
it's-
you always have to keep up now.
Oh, I know. There's hotels I see it. They're actually when you see them advertising for weddings, if they're advertising for weddings, you know that they're looking for weddings. Where if they're that busy, they wouldn't be pushing. They wouldn't be
That's
spending
it.
money.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've noticed it recently. Have your wedding at, or if they're going to a wedding fair, well, their book's not really filled if they're having to stand at a wedding fair.
yeah, yeah, because usually every wedding would attract more weddings
Yeah.
because half the guests statistically are bound to be single, or
Yeah.
Mm.
And
or,
another one
or
too.
in a relationship, and
Yeah, exactly.
the next step is marriage.
Yeah, Clandy Boy in Bangor.
yeah.
Very popular spot, but it's 5 minutes away from home. I mean, that's what
Oh, well,
Yeah.
you can't beat that then.
Do you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
go round, you just know where you're going in, you know where you're
Yeah.
going. You get in, do the job, and you're literally back home again,
Class,
So,
right? And the
there's some-
PJs for match of the day, or slightly after.
Aye. Not a massive fan of football, though. Fell out of love with football a long time ago.
Yeah.
Aye.
Why?
I don't know, I just, when you were growing up, it was either you supported, there was always those teams, wasn't there? Man United,
Same
Liverpool.
shade.
And if it was Irish League, it was either the Glens or Blues, depending on what
Religion you are.
religion. Well, my side was Glens or Blues, but, and then if it was the Scottish, it was either Rangers or Celtic. So it was always the way, wasn't it?
Yeah, very
It
cliche,
cracks me
isn't
up
it?
when you hear someone supports like I don't know a wee random team, and I'm like, well, fair play to you because you really support them,
Mm.
Then it always dates back to my dad was a supporter or whatever, but I used to go down to the Oval every Saturday to watch the Glens. Every Saturday, aye.
And you went from that to just not even caring.
It's just not caring anymore. No, I
mad.
just fell out of love with football,
Jeez. But then I think it's when you do reach a certain age, you prioritise. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
And it's only the past few years I've sort of started thinking where it's like, I used to genuinely, up until a few years ago, don't tell the owner, right? If I was asked to do a gig, I would check to see if Liverpool's playing. And if Liverpool were playing, I'd be all, I have a gig that night. But I just want to stay home and watch Liverpool.
Aye.
Yeah.
Whereas I've got to the point now whereas I'm like, I can't do that anymore. Do you know what I mean? This
Yeah.
is
Now, we
This
did
is my
do a gig
career.
recently at Lavery's, and you literally had the phone like this. And you
Yeah,
were like,
yeah.
do only you have to drive because I need to watch
Yeah.
this. So you'll still get it in. Like,
I
you'll
still will.
Technology has
Yeah.
allowed you to travel
Yeah.
and watch it at the same time.
yeah.
I don't know what it is like about football. It's like people get really obsessed with a team.
Mm.
I was.
You're
the-
like that with
yeah.
Liverpool, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
To a certain extent, you know, like Liverpool played in the Champions League final there in June this year, and I was booked to go down and like officiate everything, you know, and like get the crowd going and do stuff at half time and everything, and you know, I was planning on being there like throughout the night, and the match was like 1-0 to Real Madrid, I think, and the match was almost over, and my brother and my 2 kids who I took with me, they were all like, "Oh, please score," and I was like, if this ends, I can go home straight after the match. You know, I'm not going to be expected to stay on and do another 20 minutes or half an hour or
Yeah.
keep the crowd entertained or celebrate to the early hours of the morning. I was like, if this match ends and Real Madrid win, we'll make the last train and get a wee chip on the way. Do you know what I mean? So that was at the forefront of my mind, whereas I've never thought like that before. It's always been, oh,
Yeah.
please, Liverpool.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
Don't care as much
Were you
anymore.
Man United, Liverpool, or was it just?
I was raised Man United, but I don't really
care,
pay
yeah.
attention to it. I was once the mascot for the Northern Ireland team.
Were you?
I was Foodie for a short stint, and Foodie was essentially this big, huge football dome you would put on your head.
Oh, you didn't like hold the hand of a player and go out.
No, that's Make-A-Wish. I mean, I do that too. But no, I was the actual in the costume.
I've
So,
always wanted to do something like
oh
that.
man, you
Oh,
think
man.
that until you did the Northern Ireland games. Here's what happened. I
Oh,
was doing
really?
the final for, what's the Northern Ireland, like, Championship Cup or something? Like, it's their alternative to the FA Cup. I don't know what it would be called.
For the Northern Ireland team.
For Northern Ireland League, like,
Oh, the Northern Irish League.
Irish FA. I don't know what it's called. Like, is
It's
it
been
like
the League Cup or something,
maybe
or
it's the
the
Championship Cup or something like
yeah.
that. But it was between Cliftonville and Glentoran that year. And they were like, Aaron, need you to do the job again, get the caution. You know the deal by now. Go out there, dance about a wee bit, give them a good show. I was like, no problem, got you.
Give me
Right?
that shit.
Yeah, give them hell, kid. So I get this big round helmet on. You can only see out of like
The
here.
worst, like.
Oh man, it stinks as well. So I go out into the thing, I wave. When I go out, I come out the Glentoran side. And keep in mind, the mascot is wearing the Northern Ireland football kit, right? Now, I am so impartial to politics and stuff like that. I was just there to fucking dance about. So I'm doing like the Soldier Boy dance and all fucking Macarena, giving them the best hits, like, right? They're going fucking Glentoran side, loving it, getting cheers, applauses, foodie. Like, this is great. I was like, right, I have to move around the pitch because fucking it's got to be fair. I was like, let's go to the Cliftonville side. As soon as I get to the Cliftonville side, fucking. Now, here's the worst thing. I can only see out of this much of the mesh. I can just see a bunch of bald fucking guys just fucking, you're fucking dead. You're dead. I fucking hate you.
Mascot,
And the mascot has this big stupid smile on his face, and I can't change it. And I'm going, I don't know what to do here. And I'm just waving.
See, that's the thing about
Now
it.
here's and fucking then I start being like, but I'm like, why the fuck do these hate me? It doesn't click in my mind. It's I'm a Northern Ireland kid.
Oh,
So then what
aye.
happens is fucking I start hearing on the wee ball on the head. I hear doof, doof. I was like,
It's bottles of
I
piss.
getting hit with something. Fucking they had acquired like 500 bog rolls from the toilets or something, and were just lobbing them at me. But the worst thing is that they were fucking so accurate that I was like starting to get off balance in this mask. I was going, I'm gonna fall here soon, and I keep getting belted, and they know I'm near falling too. And fucking, it was live on TV as well on the fucking Premiers, BBC One NI or something. And fucking eventually they get me. I fucking fall, but because the head was so big, my legs were like up in the air, and the head was down there, and the cheers out of them. But then I
Unreal.
came back. I get the fucking head back in gear. Look out the little mesh hole again. There's fucking a bald guy getting held back from security, slabber hanging out his mouth, beer in his hand, looking at me going, I'm gonna fucking beat you. And I was like, I'm way back there. I'm a fucking dirty fiend in the fucking suit as well. This guy's trying to kill his own. I had to go back to the Glendoran side for the rest of the game.
Unbelievable.
Couldn't do it, like.
Fuck
Yeah,
it.
man wouldn't have treated you like that, you know. That was
I
probably,
know.
That was probably my days of going to
It was him.
We were all right. Oh, no. That's the
fucking
thing about
wild.
football. They say we're gonna. You're sitting at home watching.
And when you're not part of that, it's embarrassing, isn't it? Looking
Mm.
in and going, lads, come on, you're a grown man. Do you know,
Yeah.
your wee child's name on your back and all. wee fucking 18-year-old striker. And you're all, McGivergan, 99.
No, it was,
But yeah.
it was good fun though. Going to games, especially when your team scored. You backed them. You knew everyone in the team. You just loved everything about going down and watching them. So when they scored, it was something about just making the other side angry too. There was just something
That
about
rivalry and the
and then you knew each
camaraderie.
other. Do you know what I mean? But they're giving all these hand gestures from over, and you're like, "Oh, we'll get you after." Will we what? I'm in the back of my mate's car going, "Right, we heading back up the road then?"
Zip the coats up, lad. Don't show them our colours. Waving to them all on the way past.
Fucking hell.
Lads, we're going to wrap it up here, otherwise we're going to have to put on a fucking buffet.
Was this not in
We're going to have to walk a llama.
Get yourself up to Lordsfield, you'll see the llama.
You're going to have to. You're going to have to. Lads, this was a fucking
Good
great
fun.
episode. Thanks so much for coming in. I
Oh,
really
cheers
appreciate
for
it.
having me,
Appreciate
buddy.
the journey down. You both made, like I say.
Oh, it was a
It is a
privilege.
hike, but
It is.
Yeah.
It's inconvenient, this. But look,
is,
but
but
I'm
here-
happy to be here for you.
Do you know what I was
Yes,
thinking?
do it for
Thank
you.
you very much, Aaron. Because I was thinking, I do it all the time
You
for
do?
all the lads. Do you know what I mean?
I
That's
know,
what I was
100%.
thinking when I was coming up. I was like, fuck, this guy does this. Like, I live in Belfast. See, when I gig in Belfast, a dream. I'm home
Yeah.
in 5 minutes. And then you're,
no, it's the opposite way around.
Yeah.
Never thought
That's
of moving to Belfast, no.
We
You
did,
lived there for
and
a
then we
while.
moved back.
Yeah.
Yeah, this place stunk.
it does stink. Yeah. But fuck it.
All that clean air, you can't smell cow shit. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Ran, where can people hear you? You're on during the week, Cool FM.
Yes, I do afternoons, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And that's it. Don't follow my old Instagram because it's a hacker.
Yeah. Don't click any links that he sends you. You'll be
Aye.
fucking.
The good thing about that was that it used to be Ryan A DJ, right? And I managed to get DJ Ryan A, which I've always wanted. So
Brilliant.
Worked out for the better.
Worked out well.
Still waiting to get blue ticked.
It'll happen. It'll happen. It'll happen. Aaron, tickets right now for Africa.
AaronButlerTickets.com. It's as easy as that. They'll be gone very soon. So
They'll be gone before this goes out.
they might very well be. There's
No,
only-
I'm putting this out in April. It'll be the show will be over.
There might be a few. That's how far ahead you are recording this. So yeah, and Aaron Butler online on social, and yeah, I'll see everyone at a gig sometime soon. Hopefully, thanks for having me.
Class. Lads, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
This has been the Sean Hegarty Show, available on Spotify, wherever you're listening to this, and all other places. And subscribe if you can, and we'll be back next week with a new episode. And just before we go, myself and my wife Diona have a show called Home Alone, which is in the Grand Opera House. We have just today put out some extra tickets for shows that were being held back as like freebies for us to give to family and friends, and we were like, fuck that, make them pay. So we're actually putting them on sale for everybody else to sort of get tickets to. So make sure you snap up the last of the tickets. goh.co.uk. Follow the lads on social media. See you next week for a new episode. Thank you.